Hello and welcome to Paradise Lost podcasting channel. My name is Christina, and I'll be your storyteller for this campaign. In this episode, the group finishes the pit fight, Raylen gets her cards read, and everyone heads to the tent to find out the next task for the festival. So stick around for our first D&D campaign, Tipping the Scales, Episode 4. It always comes back to Keytars.
Jepson is out of this fight, so you just have to deal with Elvenian.
It's okay, we got advantage.
So that was
Gonna shift.
Piper's turn. Do you have anything else that you want to do? Or is that everything?
I'm gonna move to be
Flanking.
to be flanking.
Because you have the reach, you
want to be next to her.
It's easy for you to,
Mm-hmm.
move around her.
Because if...
So your thing is weird with
Yeah.
the flanking system and stuff, so...
Yeah, I built it so that you would be behind me, essentially.
You can do it either way you want to.
I mean, if she moves out of the way, I get a free attack.
Yeah.
If she moves closer to him.
Yep.
So it's up to you.
So here's my question. If it's him, her, space, and then me, are we still considered flanking even though there's a blank space?
Because your thing is weird, I'm still gonna allow it.
Okay, yeah, then I'm gonna keep the max range.
Right, but
technically it's like base to base, but yours is a weird, and I'm just gonna allow it.
It's because I basically have a reach weapon.
Yeah, I'm
so you're moving out of my threat range, right? Or that's my threatened. Like if you say that I have to be base to base with her for advantage, then that's fine.
Because of the way, I'm just gonna allow it with yours.
So really, what it comes down to is that if you're not base to base with her, I cannot bump her anytime she goes after you.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that she would go after you because I've been doing the most damage, so it makes more sense to go after me.
She looks like she's pissed because Piper knocked her her friend out, but she's definitely more focused on you. It's kind of like I was gonna let the monks handle this and fight their thing. I want you. I want to see what you're made of as a fighter.
Gotcha. But maybe if I was wearing plate mail too, motherfucker.
You can get plate mail.
21 AC. Yeah, when I have 1,500 gold.
Just put all the coin you have that you've earned all your life into plate mail, like she did, and
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't think that was an option. Yeah, punk.
You can get plate mail eventually.
Yeah, I'm not overly concerned about it. 18 is actually pretty respectable.
Yeah, 18 is pretty good. And the only reason she's at what she is particularly because her fighting style is defense.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she's at 21 because she's
defense and shield.
Anyway, continuing on.
So you're going to flank her?
Yeah, I'm going to flank her.
Sounds good. Now it is Elvenia's turn. And she is going after Rowan. That misses. And she's going to use her action surge. And she's going to miss on that as well.
Nice!
And that's her turn. So back to Rowan.
Alright. So since I have advantage on this, I'm going to swing at her again. Hey! I got a 23.
That hits.
Yeah. And this will also get sneak attack. So holy shit. I basically maxed my damage there. I did 17. I got 1 away from max.
She's looking a little rough. Definitely not super healthy, but getting there. Is that everything for you?
Yeah, I'm good.
So, Piper.
Alright, I'm going to swing with my bare arms.
Alrighty.
First attack's a whiff. I assume a 15 does not hit.
Does
You
not.
get 21 or better.
And then bonus action. That's a miss on both. I rolled a 12 both times, so I only got a 16.
So you go to hit her with your bail mail arms, I guess, at this point. And she just instinctually clanks them out of her way. She's clearly not used to fighting this weird, but she's here for it.
New experiences, yes!
She's still going after you. 21 to hit.
That hits.
That dice just likes to roll 8s, man.
Oh, damn.
So take 12 piercing.
Oh, that hurt a lot. Okay.
That's it for her turn.
If I take another hit like that, I'm going down, by the way. Alright, so I'm swinging at her. Hey, nat 20! Man, I am lucking the fuck out on these rolls. So only the base die gets doubled. Sneak attack
Sneak attack is doubled as well.
What?
All dice are doubled, and then add your modifier.
What? Okay, alright. So I do 14, 18 total. Is she not down yet?
She's looking fucking rough.
Okay.
She's got...
Please, for the love of God,
she's got,
hit her.
blood streaming down and, pulling in her scars on her. Her armor's kind of, dented in from that last hit. And she looks at you and she's like, little rogue.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I go.
Yep.
Attacking with the astral bear arms. 21 to hit.
Yes!
That just hits.
Yes! Take her out!
I think your minimum damage takes her out.
Take her out!
I do a 7.
Yep.
Teamwork!
Tried for me.
Alright, after Rowan has, like, bloodied her down, I just kind of look to him and I just kind of go, put your shield up, buddy. And then I'm going to, like...
Put my shield up?
And I'm just going to kind of, like, do this number as the bear... I'm going to, like, cross my arms as the bear arms are just going to, like, smack her as hard, like, front of the hand, smack her as hard as they can into his shield. So then she, like, hits it, bounces back, and then I'm going to deliver, like, a dope-ass flying kick, to, like a spin kick.
For the podcast, him crossing his arms and smacking him out kind of looks like if Old West saloon doors popped open.
I'm the ring.
After
That's
taking Rowan's attack and just looking at me like a little rogue, she kind of like flips around to try and stop yours with her shield, leaving herself open for you to be able to do the shenanigans. Mm-hmm. And she like flies back into his shield and falls forward to her knees. And I assume you're just trying to knock her out.
Yeah, I'm just trying to knock her out.
And
like,
then
you give her a hurricane.
She clatters onto her knees and like...
Oh god, I should have given her a hurricane rana.
You should have given her a hurricane rana.
She falls to her hands with her shield next to her and her Morningstar drops. And she just slowly like collapses. She's wearing plates, so it's hard to fall but easy at the same time. So the plate's kind of like holding her up awkwardly as she's knocked out with her head ball to the side.
Ungodly screeching.
After that happens, and she's not moving anymore, but clearly unconscious, not dying.
Everybody
is really quiet for a minute. And then there's this huge uproar of just like, yeah! Whoa! Like everybody's freaking out and clapping, they're shouting. People are like throwing jugs and like mugs of booze into the air.
Hey! I catch
Underdog.
Somebody might have been knocked unconscious by one of the jugs, and they fall down into the pit, and the healers are just staring at everybody like, "What the fuck?
Fuck do we do it?"
So they come out, tend to the dude that's fell into the pit,
fuck that guy.
tend into like there's 3 healers.
Fine.
Because Tanith made sure that there was extra healers for this.
Fine.
So he goes over, like people go over and they tend to Ilvinia, take care of Jepsen, and Tanith goes up to the both of you and starts talking to you. Congratulations. So I believe for the good show.
That gets me like I'm kind of dying.
Let them tend to the people who need it most.
I know, I'm just saying at some point.
I am kind of ignoring it, and I walk over to Jepsen and kind of kneel down and just start going, like, kind of tapping her as lightly as I can.
The healer looks at you like, excuse you, breathing room. She's a little gnome. She's a little gnome, and she is pushing you away, being like, breathing room, back up.
He's just a firbolg, don't worry about it.
So Tanith hands you 3 tokens.
I was
and
worried
hands you 3 tokens, and I only have 2 of the red ones left.
I was worried that she was
dead.
Scared.
The gnome is slowly like pushing you back, and she goes over and tends to Jepsen. Her eyes open up, and as soon as she sees you, the gnome puts like 1 cure wounds into her, and Jepsen fucking stands up and bolts.
I go running after her.
Yo, Piper! No, Piper.
Wait! Come back!
Piper.
We have things to talk about as my bear arms are
come.
so like...
She basically tries to acrobatics out of the pit, not even going around. She does some monk bullshit and tries to acrobatics out there, leaving her quarterstaff behind, not even carrying anymore.
I'm gonna pick that up. Be like,
can I acrobatics?
You can try an acrobatics after her.
Piper!
I got a 23 on my acrobatics.
So she's going up there.
Poor person.
She gets up on the edge and pulls herself up, and you're already standing at the top there. And she just looks up and goes, ah! And like drops back into
I want to use my bear arms to catch her.
Okay,
you're the worst.
Roll a dex check.
Fucking worst.
Piper!
19.
Okay, so she's going falling. Your arms come and are you grabbing her? Are you cradling her?
I'm cradling her. I'm trying to like be nice about it.
Okay, so you're cradling her and she's freaking the fuck out.
Why are you so scared? I'm just trying to talk to you.
Because you're like him.
Like who?
Like the pale dude with the she's like almost hyperventilating right now.
Calm down.
Have you ever
Remember your monk training.
Don't you know you're not supposed to tell someone to calm down?
That.
Breathe in.
You said you're just cradling her, right?
Yeah.
She's gonna try and jump out of the fucking arms. She does not want to be around you.
I just want to give me a name, please.
She definitely doesn't jump out of the arms. Actually, hold on.
Does she
I should
fall
actually add her acrobatics into that. Okay, what's your AC? Fucking
Trident
squirt. She tries to wriggle out, but is unable to get out.
I use the bear arms to slowly, gently rock her
She
into
has this look of
into
terror
a calm.
and is looking around to see if anybody's going to help her whatsoever.
I just want to know who you're talking about.
I don't know his name, just that he's a monster. And he has arms just like yours.
We're not monsters.
We're monsters.
Tell him that, because he was definitely a monster.
Can you just give me a description? If someone is using our techniques to scare and hurt people, that is definitely against the teachings of Sage Zep.
She describes the gentleman to you. He's got very pale skin, very sunken cheeks, a shock of blonde hair, pretty well built. And she said that he had arms similar to yours that, like, eventually you get her to calm down to where she's not literally the sight of you and these arms freak out. Seems to be a little bit better after you put the arms away.
Mm-hmm.
She talks about him having golden armor for his arms and a gold visor with black veins, black and purple necrotic looking veins running through it, the armor, like cracks of it.
What race is he?
As far as she can tell, he looks human, but like a sickly human. Through the description, it sounds really familiar to Daxton.
This is not good.
And
Thank you.
She looks at you, she's like, can I go now?
I nod to her.
And she just dipsets out of there. You do not see her for the rest of at all.
I come back to the group and I just for the first time, he looks honestly kind of upset.
So, while this is happening, because this takes a good amount of time to eventually calm this poor damn girl down, what is everybody else doing?
I guess I go to try and hand her quarterstaff back.
She's running away again.
She takes it, she says, thank you, and walks away. She also hands you all of her tokens. It's like 6 tokens. She just hands them to you and she's like, I'm done. And leaves.
I don't know what to do. Oh, okay. Alright. I also want to go talk to Ilvena and be like, hey, good fight.
Good fight.
You got some learning yet, although you almost wrecked my shit.
I mean, you're kind of sneaky.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure. Well, good fight. She kind of like clasps your shoulder. Not digging.
No, but like I'm still like super bad.
She's really fucked up too, so yeah. It's not super hard, but it's kind of like someone who's very tired, like clasping you on the shoulder.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But she does have like rough scales and claws, so it feels a little weird to you. But you got armor on, so it's not that bad. Yeah. Good fight.
Good fight.
Maybe again someday.
Yeah.
And she gets tended to by the healers, and she heads off as like.
Hey, can I get some of that healing too? I need some.
Yeah, they come by and they heal you. They heal you back up. They heal Piper. Piper actually got fucking hit.
You know what's great? None of y'all know I'm a healer yet.
So you guys get healed up. Since that takes them a little while, did you want to do anything else in particular, or just talk until Avenia before she?
I was basically just going to talk to Avenia.
Ladies, what are you doing in this time? Did you stay for the whole fight? Did you dip out?
I'm probably gonna go find Elvinia. Not like I know I can't buy her a drink, but essentially offer to buy her a drink and talk to her.
She sits and she grabs. She's drinking comfort at this point because she just
same.
Yeah, she drinks it just fine. She's just relaxing and whatnot. She'll just sit and talk the shit with you. Gracie actually comes over and sits with you, and it seems like Elvenia and her actually know each other somehow. Maybe they talk at some point or whatnot. The three of you just kind of have a drink and a nice little conversation.
I want to talk to her about, like, you know, I grew up on a ship. What did you do, like, before this? And
Pretty much fought my whole life.
that's kind of fucking terrifying and awesome at the same time.
She holds up she's still wearing her armor, and she just looks like she's just having a rough time moving around in it. Like, she's just exhausted.
I just go, tally ho, and have the rope go and, like, help her, basically lift up her drink for her so she can rest.
Neat trick. But she's like, she points to, like, she like I said, she's riddled in scars. Old ones, new ones. Being what I am and the color that I am, most people don't think I have good intention. Roll history.
You said history?
Mm-hmm.
12.
You're not super well versed in dragons and Dragonborn.
Yeah.
But you have heard of chromatic and metallic dragons.
Got it.
What little you do know is that metallic dragons are seen more as the good aligned dragons, and
chromatic are evil.
Theoretically they're evil.
No, I get that. You know, my mam's a half-orc.
Tell something was up, but it wasn't.
Very, very brave dwarf.
Mm.
So I get strange looks a lot.
Fair.
But, so what do you do for fun?
Drink.
That sounds fantastic. We should do more of that.
Sounds good. So she, like, will gently take the mug from the rope, and she holds her glass out to clink to you. And you guys, like I said, you sit, the two of you talk, Rayson comes over, she flirts with you a little bit. She flirts with Lavinia a little bit, too.
I mean, that makes sense. I would, too.
Three of you have a nice little conversation.
Cool.
How about you? What's Raylen doing?
I'm gonna go down and see if there's anything I can help with as far as, like, healing
you can see that there's
like
at least 3 healers down there. There's someone to tend to everyone, and everyone looks like they're pretty well covered right now.
Beans.
Are you going above the pit now that everybody's sorted? Roll me a perception check.
25. I rolled a nat 20.
All right. You see into the future.
What do my elven eyes see?
Your elven eyes see a lot. You see the boys doing stuff. You see Piper not harassing this girl, but
harassing this girl.
harassing this girl. You see Rowan trying to talk to Elvenia, and they're kind of chatting each other up. Tattersail is just kind of chilling for right now because she hasn't gone and talked to Elvenia yet because she's not out of there. You also see this tiny little dragon-like looking thing. Let me show you a picture real quick. So you see something that looks like that. It's
oh my god, that's so cute. It's like a butterfly dragon.
It is. I will.
It's like a butterfly dragon.
It is red. It's not blue like in the picture. It is red. It has basically kind of a dragon-like body or draconic-like body. It's tiny.
Tiny little drake.
And it has almost like butterfly wings.
But it's dragon.
It's a pseudo-dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
I'm gonna follow it.
Get it fucking...
And so it's like skittering around, and it disappears for a moment, and then pops back in. You see it kind of like creeping in and out of the tents, and then you see like another little dragon following it.
Uh-oh.
And this one doesn't look like it. This one literally looks like a tiny dragon.
Uh-oh. They're multiplying.
And so the difference is literally one looks more butterfly and everything like that. This
one looks like a fairy dragon.
Yeah, one could even say looks literally like a fairy dragon, and the other one looks like a pseudo dragon.
My bad. Yep, I got that backwards. Pseudo dragons are small
so
dragons,
the pseudo dragon is literally following this tiny fairy dragon.
Does it look like it's trying to, like, eat it, or just following it?
It's stalking it.
Bug.
Because you rolled literally a nat 20, you can see that it is stalking it, and the fairy dragon's, like, looking over its shoulder, disappearing for a little bit, and popping back up. The pseudo-dragon keeps trying to find it. It's stalking, not in a playful manner.
Stalk the babe! Find the baby!
The little fairy dragon go into a small tent, and then the pseudo-dragon, like, kind of puff up and look at it, and then scamper inside after it.
I wanna go find it. I wanna go find the fairy dragon. I wanna save it.
So you go in there and
I just sit up.
Takes you like a minute to go to the tent, and it's barely open.
On the way to the tent, can I stop at a meat stand and grab some meat?
So there, you'd have to go because the food and everything's on one side. This is not because the food and everything's on the left side, and it's on that side. So you could see if you can find maybe like a scrap from the meat pies that were done earlier.
Yes, let's feed it fucking...
Go ahead and roll a
Potentially-
perception check.
I'm not gonna
No,
actually do
okay.
that. I'm not actually gonna do that. I'm not
so
gonna feed wild magic to a fucking dragon.
It'll be fine.
No!
So you go, and the tent the tent flap's not really open very much. It's like just a tiny bit open. Do you peek in?
Mhm.
Okay. So you kind of like peek in, and there is a lady sitting behind a small circular table. She's just resting her head on her hands, and she's got her finger pointed out. The pseudo dragon like shifting up and down in the air, like something's lifting it up and like putting it down. And you see the little fairy dragon like skitter up onto the table and then come to sit in her lap. When she sees you, she's like, oh, and she moves her hand away, and the pseudo dragon drops onto the ground and scurries out of the tent with the quickness.
I've been caught! I've been compromised!
Oh, okay.
Hello, what can I do?
I was just following the little creatures, making sure that one was okay. Pointing at the one in her lap.
So she's elven. She's got very dark skin. This almost mane of like curly, wild-looking black hair, and she's got like bracelets and rings, like a lot of jewelry. Think like the very stereotypical like fortune teller look, and she just looks kind of bored almost. I appreciate you trying to take care of my friend. Greatly appreciated. Would you like to sit?
Sure.
So there's just like, it's like a little stool, and she's got a much more luxurious looking chair. Like It's got like the armrests on it and like the velvet back to it, and sits taller than her. She actually looks fairly short for an elf.
Maybe she's a nelf.
A nelf.
A no-nelf.
Or a delf.
And so she
likes to delf.
she like pets the fairy
Shut the fuck
fairy
up.
dragon, and
Your privilege is
like-
revoked.
it chirps up at her, and she just pulls a little berry, or sorry, she like flicks her hand and a little berry forms in it, and she just feeds it to him. And she pets it again, and just waves her finger, and the little fairy dragon like scampers off. Be careful this time. Would you like your cards read?
Sure.
She puts her hands in her lap. She puts her hands in her lap, and then pulls them out, and she's got a deck of cards in her hand. She just starts shuffling them and just looks at you. What is your name?
Raylen, Lyodon.
Who's gonna take that lion down?
Interesting.
Also,
I
I'm
haven't
playing a
heard-
game of how many of my PCs in any game gets fortunes read and cards read.
I haven't heard that name in quite some time. So she lays down the first card. It is the back of the cards have these intricate woven designs on it, very very similar to like a Celtic design, with various like colors blotched on it. It almost looks like it was like splatter painted on there, and then like set to like disperse out over the cards in like a rainbow spread with the gold knotting on it. She turns over the first card. It's this beautiful lit up illuminated moon that is shining down on this valley. The card, it looks like almost a mist pass over the moon. Then it stops. Just very quick, very subtle. The moon. And it's in the upright position, by the way. This is your past. You were taking a path you were unsure of, where you didn't know what lay ahead, or you did know what lay ahead, but were hesitant for it. You had some fear and anxiety, but that's okay. The moon's light can bring clarity, and it can help guide you. She kind of looks at you, almost like you have this feeling like she's almost looking into your soul. Oh. It's not just the looking at the outside of you, it's like she's almost boring into you. Like boring into your being.
your aura.
You are a child of the moon. Interesting. She draws a second card, and this one is, this one's also in the upright position. It has this really powerful figure that's just kind of sitting in this chariot that's being pulled by two sphinx. The figure has this crown on his head and a sword in his hand. But as you look at it, the sword shifts to a quarterstaff that has vines wrapping around it. And then it slowly bends into a bow and the string is attached. And then it shifts back to a sword real quick. It's very brief, just like the mist passing over the moon. The chariot. That's all about... You are trying to overcome conflicts and moving forward in a positive direction. You just need to keep going, whether through sheer hard work or commitment. And it looks like you might be victorious in your endeavors. I'm not sure what you're currently trying to do with your life, but it looks interesting from what I can tell.
I'm just gonna sit there and continue listening and nodding along, making sure not to interrupt and taking all the information in.
She goes to grab the third card. When her hand touches it, you see this weird black spark as soon as her hand touches it, and she just reflexively pulls away from it, almost as if it shocked her. You see kind of the color drain from her face, and she looks, for an elf, she looks like she's probably close to the oldest she will ever be in her life. It's only brief, but just long enough to be like, what the fuck? Her eyes glaze over in the shifting storm effect. Her mouth just moved, but she's just deadpan staring at you. There's no affect, there's no nothing. And she says, it is not her voice.
No.
The flesh of the hand has returned to the land. Gather all your might for the end of this night. And once night is uttered, she goes back to looking how she did before. And she just blinks her eyes. The card, after she pulled away from it, just flopped onto the table, face down. And she's like, I apologize. And she gets up and picks up the tent and leaves.
Packs up and just leaves?
Doesn't even grab anything. Just leaves her cards there even, and leaves. Do you want to look at the card?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at the upside down card for a moment, kind of cock my head at it and look out where she would have gone, look back to the card, and kind of I'm gonna touch it first.
Nothing happens.
No spark or anything like that?
Nope.
Alright, and then I'm gonna lift it up to look at it.
So as you look at it, it's the Tower card.
Oh.
You, not having ever read Terra before, don't really know what that means.
Yeah.
But you do see it looks like a castle tower.
Mm-hmm.
It looks very normal. And then you see claws sink around the edges of it and crumble it down to dust. And then it looks like a normal tower again. I'ma die.
Oh, yeah.
So as you guys come out and are having your respective conversations, you hear Tana's voice kind of ring out, almost as if it's omnipresent around the festival. It sounds very akin to thaumaturgy.
Thaumaturgy?
Mm-hmm. Where you can raise your voice.
Oh, okay.
You know how in
You mean thaumaturgy?
Thaumaturgy.
Harry Potter, where they stick the...
Yep.
Yeah, the
I'm
wand
in the wizard world where they stick the knife to their throat, because my brain, that's how my brain's working today.
Yeah.
You know the wizardy thingy where they did the doodad?
Wherever you're at in the festival, you can hear, participants, if you would please come to the entrance to the big tent. The entrance is near the podium, right behind it, and your tokens will be collected and you may enter for the next phase.
Sorry, Tattersail, looks like you ain't getting laid.
Yeah. Reese looks at you, she just kind of sets a hand on your shoulder, she's like, later.
I kind of grab her hand and very gently just kind of kiss the back of it and be like, I look forward to it.
She gives you a nod and she kind of walks off and she jingles a little bit as she leaves.
She stole your money.
That's fine. Stole my heart too. At least for the evening.
Ilvenia puts her hands on the table and gets up and just kind of gives you a wave. She heads over towards the entrance.
I follow suit.
I guess I'm leaving this this tent of my doom and heading over there. Tent of doom.
So
yeah.
You are actually the closest to it, so you get up to there first. There is a gentleman, he's dressed in some armor, his hair is pulled back into kind of almost a top knot, and he's got elven ears, looks a little short, but
my elven ears.
Weirdly smaller than what you would expect a half-elf to have, so somewhere between a half-elf and a human. It's a little weird, but
It's
kind of
half
like how
elf.
Jamie's ears used to be in Avalon.
they're like a quarter elf. They're like what Doe's ears are.
Okay.
For the people who don't know.
they're very-
So they're just pointed normal people ears?
They're
Gotcha.
pointed normal people ears. They are not very pronounced, but just enough for you to kind of look at it and question it.
You know, if you take your ear and kind of fold it and then put a piece of tape on it.
Yeah, because I do that regularly. That's a thing that it's normal.
I've seen it. I've seen it online. People
I've seen it.
they tape their ear like that so that way it looks like an elf ear.
Raylen, he looks at you and holds his hand out.
I give him a high
Tokens.
five.
Tokens.
So when you go to look in your token pouch, you know you've mostly had red tokens, and I believe one.
I
token.
had 3 white and 2 red.
Yeah, you had a mixture of the two. When you go in there, there's also a blue one in there. So he holds his hands out, takes the tokens. He looks through them. He writes something down and puts the token in his pouch and just waits for you to go inside. The rest of you come up. I assume hand over your tokens to him when he asks.
I want to ask him, hey, what do the colors mean?
They're for the events that you did.
Okay, yeah, but like, what do they mean? Like, do they have like a significance? Or is it just like these classifications of events yield this color?
It's so we know what you did to get here. Each color represents something. So
what does it represent? That's what I'm asking.
You asked too many questions. The red ones are for more physical challenges.
Okay.
White ones are for more social challenges. The blue ones are for more mental challenges.
Oh, good thing I didn't do
Could
any
I get
of
a
those.
blue one for dealing with him all day? Because that's a mental challenge in my opinion.
Hey!
I don't give them out, I just collect them.
Fair.
Yeah.
When I hear that, I'm just gonna be like,
you're also inside before the rest of them
yeah, so I don't hear any
of that. I'll give you guys the description once everybody goes in.
Okay, I get it. Alright, you did the tarot reading. That was the mental thing.
but how'd I get it?
Get wrecked. Don't know.
Tarot magic?
She
Tarot
did
magic.
not give you a token. There was none left behind.
It's a butterfly dragon.
So
Yep,
you have
exactly.
a blue token that was in your pouch, but you don't remember receiving it.
Cool beans.
Yep,
So-
butterfly dragon stuck it in. Piece of cake.
So you can assume
Alright,
you can
cool.
assume what you want to assume.
Alright,
will
so I
assume
hand
what I
over my
wanna assume.
tokens and then move in, I guess?
Yep. You go
Alright,
in.
cool.
He takes Tattersails. If Tattersails presents, Piper
I
presents
hand mine
his.
over, yeah.
Alright, so you guys go in. There's a couple of people in there already, but as you go in, you notice a large round table in the center of the tent. And it's really interesting because, as I mentioned before, the tents are all very colorful. So this tent is kind of sheer. You couldn't see in it from the outside. But as you're inside, the sun is filtering through it, and it's casting all these different shades of colors throughout the area. And it's just multicolored almost. It's very, very pretty, but not overwhelming.
Like bottled? Like bottled with
yes.
different colors? Okay.
Is it like if it was filtering through stained glass?
Kind of, yes. It's a very mottled stained glass, but it's not like, holy crap, kaleidoscope grinding.
I'm gonna stand in a red bottle light.
Alright?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all different colors, like of the rainbow.
Because rainbows are the best.
It's not particularly like the red, blue, and the white, but it's very present. There's a very
Prismatic.
prismatic atmosphere to it.
Thank you.
Like I said, there's a table in the middle. It's a pretty big circular table. In the center of that table, almost growing, there's a place cut out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Growing out of that little cutout place is this giant tree.
So, to understand your description, it's like a giant round table, and in the middle of the table, the tree is growing.
There's an area that's cut out that this tree is growing out
through.
of.
So almost like they built the table around the tree.
Yes.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
But it's very close to it, so it almost gives it the illusion that it's growing out of the table. So if the tree is growing up, and as it branches out, it is lifting the tent up and holding it aloft. Damn. It is a massive tree. So that it branches out, and this thing is held aloft by the tree.
I like big trunks.
And I cannot lie. I'm wondering if this tree goes with them, or if they just found this tree and it's conveniently here.
You don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm pretty sure this tree went with them. That's my guess. 'Cause these are obviously Fae.
So like I said, there's other people around. There's a couple that are sitting around. There's a couple that are talking, and some that look like they're just these deep conversations about what have you. What do you guys want to do?
Have a deep conversation about what have you.
Do you guys want to know specifically who's in there right now?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Elvenia's in there, because she came up about the same time as Tattersail. Kalina's in there.
Which one is Kalina?
The half
She
elf
the
that
one that
Piper
was-
ran into.
Was she the
and-
one that was
the bard.
terrified of?
No,
No, the
Jefferson
bard.
is gone.
Oh, that's
She's the bard.
Yeah, she's the bard.
Oh yeah.
The one that played with Piper earlier. She's in there, and she is talking with this half-orc, and she's actually talking in Orcish with him.
Oh, damn.
And the half-orc is one that you guys saw earlier. He was at, I believe he was at the pieing contest with you guys.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
The guys who lost
really
the first round.
really tall, muscular, kind of bulky.
He's also the
got
one who did the boulder toss thing.
What about the halfling?
the halfling. You don't see them there right now.
What a loser. That's what you get for vomiting cake, you turd. I say,
but
having
this
vomited
half-orc
cake.
has tattoos.
Hi, my bad.
He's got a bear on his right arm that's just kind of ornately all around it.
I don't know, it looks like it's barely covering.
I mean, he's got the right to bear arms.
Ah!
Damn it.
He looks like he's got a little bit of age to him, but he's not like super old or anything like that. And they're just having a conversation in Orcish and just talking back and forth. And Kalina's she's just kind of twirling her instrument in her hand and talking with him, just like a very casual looking conversation.
What's her instrument?
It's a flute.
Oh.
She's got a lot of different instruments, remember?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I was
But which
I was
one
hoping
is
it was
this
like
one?
an accordion or some ridiculous
She
instrument.
doesn't. You have not
Twirling
seen her.
an accordion
Yeah,
around?
like a stand-up bass. Just
Yeah, she's
twirling
just
a
taking her
stand-up
fingers,
bass.
just kind of like almost twirling it like it was a baton. It looks effortless for her.
Okay, but let's be real. The accordion is the medieval equivalent of the keytar.
God damn it.
No love for Keytars
No love
in any of these
whatsoever
campaigns,
for
apparently.
Keytars. None whatsoever.
Hey, I had to learn to love Keytar. You guys can too.
And there's
Todd.
another half-orc sitting in one of the chairs. His legs are propped up on the table.
My kind of guy. I'm gonna go hang
He's
out with
got
him.
a shaved head. He's got very prominent tusks coming up. You know, half-orc and all that.
I'm gonna go hang out with him. Kick my legs up. Shut up. Don't
There's
You
judge
can
me.
do
Yeah.
it without having to hang out with him. You can
Bet.
do whatever you want.
Bet.
There's a dwarf female that's sitting in another chair, and she's just sharpening a dagger. She looks like she's dressed in robes. She's just
Wizard.
You don't know.
Yeah.
She's just sharpening a dagger.
She's using a dagger and she's in robes. Come
and then
on.
she's just kind of holding it up, and
Cultist.
She's actually a paladin.
Ooh. Oh my god, that'd be the worst paladin ever. Unless she's wearing like chainmail.
and
underneath her
there's
robes.
a human sitting next to her, and he just is, his face is down with like his head is buried in his arms. He looks like he's probably sleeping, maybe. You could
Probably,
presume.
maybe, you know, potentially.
Hopefully.
Elvenia's just kind of walking around, like looking at all the colors that are coming through the tent.
She's a cat. She's a dragon cat. A cat dragon? Catragon.
A drat.
Yes, that's way better. Goddamn drats!
Alright.
That's where the term came from. That's exactly
Oh,
yep,
drats.
canon.
Dragon cats.
Canon confirmed.
And there's this little gnome in chainmail, and he's just swinging around as a mace, if I remember correctly. Kind of almost like checking the balance on it.
Is the mace gnome-sized, or is it an actual
It's
mace?
a normal-sized mace. It looks big compared to him, but it is a normal-sized mace.
Okay.
Because he's only about, 3'3".
So it's not a gnome-sized
So
mace.
small.
Yeah, he's small.
We
I
small.
don't know him about that.
And he's got this silver sheen to his hair. It doesn't look like he's
Like me.
old, but it's just got the silver
Right?
bits
I have
to it
silver
with the
hair.
light.
He's
My hair
he's using
is
Rogaine for men
pewter.
with the salt and pepper look.
It doesn't look salt and pepper. It just has this silver sheen to
Oh,
it.
okay.
My hair's like silver pewter gray.
He's going for the Great Fox look. Gotcha.
As you're kind of taking note of all these people around, 3 more people walk in.
What are
They
they?
look like they're together. They hand their tokens to the guard, and it's 3 half-elves that walk in.
Ooh.
Are
The
they
plot
triplets?
thickens.
They
Don't judge me.
Thickens.
so one is a
With
male.
2 C's.
There's a male and there's 2
Ooh,
females.
Super thickened.
One's got kind of this very, very light tan skin, dark brown hair that's probably shoulder length, but it's pulled back at the nape of his neck. One of the females has tanner skin. She's got darker brown hair, and it's pulled up into this really tight high bun on the top of her head.
Gives me a migraine just thinking about.
Yeah, it looks like
Just don't
it
pull it too
shouldn't be.
tight.
It doesn't. It looks like it should not be comfortable. But
Got it.
she's rocking it and doesn't seem to bother her whatsoever. With her is this her you could tell that her skin was probably tan at one point, but it looks like people have tan skin but they're inside a lot, so it's very light colored.
Weathered, almost.
It's
Faded tan.
Faded.
Pale tan.
yeah, like a pale tan.
Their
if you will.
their natural skin tone is tan, but because they haven't been out in the sun, they are pale tan.
yeah. And she's
Pan.
she's
They're
flipping
pan.
through a book.
Tan color.
And she's got black hair that's braided all the way down to her hip and behind her head.
Ooh. Oh man.
And they
braids are
just-
so cool.
They just walk inside, and the male just kind of like claps his hands
Don't
together,
you judge me.
and he's like, "Oh, this looks like fun. I like this place. Yes."
Well,
You've been here for 5 seconds. How the fuck could it be fun?
Are you actually saying that too?
Yeah. I'm assuming I heard him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's not
like-
trying to hide what he's saying.
Just
I'm-
hands up in the air.
Hands up
like,
in the air.
"The fuck?"
Just derisive look on my face, like
Exactly.
Motherfucker.
He
Hold
just
that.
points at you like, exactly. You look like a man who can have some fun. Am I wrong?
am I
that
wrong?
depends on your
He has,
Am I
definition.
he has
wrong?
this kind of almost jovial nature to him, like he's excited for whatever's going to happen.
That depends on your definition of fun, now, doesn't it?
I mean, what's your definition of fun? Because I can have a good time almost anywhere.
Are you coming on to me? I feel like you're coming on to me.
I don't know,
Nobody's
do
coming on to
do
you
want me to
ever.
come on to you?
Maybe.
Not really my type, but
Rude. Apparently I'm nobody's type.
Oh, snap!
All these friggin' half-elves not liking on the human.
So
I get it. No, I see how it is.
The half-elf with the tight bun who's wearing heavy armor just looks at him and is like, Ren, just shut up and sit down.
Yeah.
And she goes and takes a seat, claps her hand on his back.
Yeah.
As
Listen
she's
to your
going by.
mistress.
And the one who's reading a book is just like, Ren, you're always causing problems. And she just goes and takes a seat too.
Wow. You seem like you're like the butt of this whole group, and not in the good way.
Look.
Rowan, why are you doing this?
He looks
not?
at you and he's like, sisters. And goes and takes his seat next to them.
Hey, are they available?
Good luck!
Raylen literally does what I just did, which was just basically grab the bridge of her nose when you ask, are they available? And just this dude.
He's just sore that he struck out earlier.
Yeah, I am. What is
Not
the
in a
point?
good way.
So a couple more people file in.
You're
Rowan,
not sore
I'm
in the good
sure
way.
that you'll find another boulder that you're capable of hitting, unlike the other boulder that you missed multiple times.
Piper, that's not what they mean by strike
He
out.
just called you out.
So funny enough that you mentioned the
Shut
half-elf,
up.
he also files in afterwards, and then there's just this human male that comes in, and he's just wearing leather armor and has a sword at his hip,
You're
and
not
he
the
just
only
takes a
human
seat.
here.
There's another human with his head down.
Yeah, he's just
Sleeping, hopefully, not dead. Hopefully.
That would be the third human in here.
Yeah.
You're not the only human, that's good.
There's a
I mean,
good,
if you count half-elves.
there is a good variety
Each one
of
is like
people in
0.5
here,
humans,
but there's
so.
They're also 0.5
definitely
elves.
more
True.
half-elves in here than anything else. 'Cause there's
Are
four
there
of
any
them.
other full
That's right.
elves?
Of competitors? No.
Ha! You're alone. What a
Of
loser.
Nobody knows the
The
trouble
trouble
I've seen.
So
I don't want to hear it.
the guard
How many dorks
The
are
guard turns around, looks and kind of almost counts you guys up, takes out a horn and closes the tent behind you guys.
We're all trapped.
Quick, play dead like that
Tattletale,
guy.
calm down. It's just a piece of cloth. I'm sure you can get through it.
I just pull out one of my short sword. I'm like, yeah, hey, I can definitely cut my way out of it.
I'm just gonna pat you on the head and be like,
No,
it's
that
okay.
wasn't. You don't want to have to pay for a big tent like this.
Who says I'm gonna pay for it? I'm just gonna run.
Cut and run, if you will.
Hey.
So Tanith slides in real quick before they close the tent, gives the guard a nice pat on the shoulders, like, thank you. If everybody will take their seats, please.
Wait, is the table big enough for
The
all
table is
people?
big enough for all
How freaking
16 of you.
how big is this tent? Oh, it's only 16. Okay.
It's
I don't know,
also got a tree growing out of it.
In my head, I had this image of like
The
dozens
table that
of
we're actually
people.
sitting at right now.
No.
16
No,
people.
no.
No.
He's thinking of everybody, including shopkeeps and
Well, no.
Oh,
okay.
everybody in the tent.
I was thinking that just a lot of people had completed the challenge, so I was thinking that there were like dozens of people. in
There are 16 people in
Gotcha,
here,
okay.
besides Tanith and the guard.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, there's
Unless they
18.
don't count as people, in which case 16.
You can count them as not people if you don't want.
Okay.
You
Someone count
do
some people.
you.
Excuse me, but Tanith, sir, do we have assigned seats, or are we just welcome to sit wherever?
Sit where you want.
I'm gonna sit next to the orc with his feet kicked up. So, hey, yo, what up?
He
Yeah, we bros now. A fist bump.
he sticks his arm out.
You're gonna fist
Name's
bump his.
Grosh. What's yours?
Sup, Grosh? I'm rolling.
And his hand out towards you.
Oh, he's reaching for a
Yeah,
shake. Oh,
yeah.
I shake his hand then.
Yeah, he grabs your forearm and shakes your hand.
Oh.
And it's like
I'll pull
a
him in
nice
for a hug.
strong.
I'll pull him in for like the half
Yeah.
hug type deal. You know, like the shoulder bump half
Yeah,
hug.
Where you do like
he'll go
the
with
back
it.
tap.
Yeah.
He seems a little like unsure, but he just kind of goes with
Yeah.
it.
Sup,
Not-
man? What up?
He sees him unsure is like human custom.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Piper is going to find a spot near the rest of the group and sit down on the ground.
Tam tells you, we have seats.
Sitting down on the ground is much more comfortable for me. I
Alright.
like being closer to the nature.
That's fine. So
I do too, but I'm gonna sit in a chair.
I'm also like 8 feet tall, so I can still see everything.
the chairs are pretty varying size, as if they were expecting, varying races to be here.
Are there any giant chairs?
There is like 2 giant chairs that would be big enough for somebody 7 feet or taller.
Oh well, in that case, then no. I'm gonna just sit on the ground. I'm sticking by my decision here.
That's fine.
I was thinking of like sitting in one of the giant chairs.
Elvenia's in one of them, and she's just lounging back like she owns this chair.
Yeah, I figured a dragon chair, particularly a blue dragon.
Is she gonna take the chair home with her when this is done?
Oh my god!
She might. You don't know. You don't know what her life's about.
You don't know what her life's about.
That's true. So is everybody taking a seat, or are people sitting on the ground?
Yeah.
You said you were sitting on the ground, Piper. Okay.
Yeah.
So the one chair that you're not in, he steps up on that and steps up onto the table, and he's slowly like walking around so he can kind of address all of you.
This is Tanith, right?
He's on the table?
Yes, he is on the table walking around. Because there's still there's a decent bit of distance between the edge of the table and where the tree is at. There's definitely enough for him to move around and walk around freely.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's
I
not
thought
like...
you were saying that there was like a...
And then he steps into
okay.
the mashed potatoes.
There's no food or drinks on the table. It is
Not
a bare
the mashed
table.
potatoes!
So,
Anything but the mashed potatoes.
he kind of, as he's walking, he
starches.
looks to you guys as he's walking around, trying to kind of like address all of you evenly so that everybody can hear what he's talking about.
This is the problem with a round table.
Yeah, I mean,
Around a tree.
if the tree wasn't there, this would be much easier, but
Yeah, he could just stand in the middle.
the tree's kind of holding the tent up for you guys.
Sometimes it's about the aesthetic. It's not just about functionality. You have to go for the look.
Welcome, everyone, to the Hall of Heroes.
Thanks!
We got surprisingly the amount of people that we thought we would get for this.
It's almost like they knew beforehand.
Are you saying that out loud?
Yes.
Oh,
You're welcome.
If
My
I-
participation in this event was very fun.
if I knew everybody that was going to be in here ahead of time, that'd be pretty amazing, I would think.
Yeah, it would be.
So he keeps walking around. So welcome all of you who have gotten your tokens. Some of you even exceeded the 5. Congratulations to that.
I got 6 now because of that blue one.
6.
We have taken stock of your coins. I also forgot to mention they asked your names when you came in, but
It's not canon anymore. Get wrecked. No, I'm just kidding.
You don't know me.
so that they can write down your tokens with your
Gotcha.
names.
You don't know me.
So we took your tokens and your names at the door so that we could put all of your names into a pot, because the next part of this competition is a team competition.
Cool.
We'll be breaking you...
Tattersail just kind of leans over and like crosses her fingers and goes, not Rowan, not Rowan.
You all, since we happen to get a good number of people, I can actually break you all down into teams of 4. We were kind of worried we might have to have, some uneven teams, but it worked out pretty well, thankfully.
Rowan's gonna please be with the hot twins. Or not hot twins, the hot sisters. Please be with the hot sisters. Please be with the hot sisters.
I'm sure Piper and I are listening patiently and not being assholes.
Hey, just because we object to... That's fine. You're right.
So, what we will be doing to help you all prepare for this is we will actually be having a hero's feast for you all.
So they are going to be stepping in the mashed potatoes.
I don't know how many of you know about that spell, but basically it'll be a nice feast. It'll take you all an hour to consume, and then it'll have some very beneficial effects for you all for
Cool.
your next part of this.
Sounds good to me.
I like how he's like, it's gonna take you an hour to eat. No more, no less. It's going to take you an hour. I'm telling you.
Challenge accepted.
It's going to take you an hour. You have to eat for an hour
Mainly
straight.
It takes an hour because the spell lasts that long, and you have to at least pick and eat a little bit during that time. And then you'll receive the boons of the hero feast for a day, for 24 hours afterwards.
Sweet.
Then, once you're done with that, we'll be sending you off to the next challenge, which will be a maze challenge. You will be.
It sounds amazing. Oh!
I like to think it is.
Hey, don't you load your crossbow at me.
Rin is sitting next to you, the male elf, and he just the male half elf, he just goes over and he's like, "Are you always like this? Do you know those people?"
I just met them.
I don't know what we're whispering about, but I don't like being left out.
Oh, I was just saying you're
I
a
have
bit crazy,
anxiety.
but it's fine.
All right, it comes with the territory.
Crazy's good.
I'm just gonna lean back over to her and be like, I just met them myself. I think they are like this.
Are you kidding?
I mean, there's some days I'd take that crazy over
This is my best
their
friend.
crazy.
I don't know
and
what
he
she's
points
talking
over
about.
to the two half-elf
to
women
his
sisters that are sitting next to him, and you see the one with the top bun just glaring at him, and then the other one's not even paying attention. She's flipping through her book still, like occasionally looking up at Tana, and then just like looking back down at the book and just flipping the pages.
I'm gonna look at her and be like, I don't have any siblings, but I understand. I have cousins.
Are they, he gives you a look, he's like, I don't mean to be insulting, but are they full elf, half elf? None of the in-betweens?
One of each.
Oh, interesting. All half elves. What can you do? So he's just kind of making little snippy comments to you throughout Tana's speech. Not kind of when Tana is making a pause, he'll say something to you.
Yeah.
So you're not
being respectful.
Yeah.
But also like we're gossiping.
Yeah, basically.
I made a friend.
Elvenia's just kind of like giving the nod to Tattersail every so often, and Kalina's sitting next to Piper and just nudging him occasionally, be like, "So what do you think of this?"
I think they have assembled quite a crew of weirdos.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
Piper, that's a curse word.
Weirdos?
Yes.
No, it isn't.
You're sure?
But what if it was?
But it's not.
Did you just use a curse?
I did not use a curse.
Does he not usually use curse?
He's using a cuss.
Oh.
I do not cussing
That's
cuss.
a shame.
I do not cussing cuss.
Hello again, everyone. Christina here with some thanks for this episode, going out to the musical talents of Kevin MacLeod for our current theme song, New Hero in Town, and also to other artists such as Raphael Crooks and Jason Shaw. If you liked what you heard, please look them up and also feel free to give us a like, a follow, or a good review. It goes a long way for helping us get out to more listeners, and we always appreciate the feedback. Speaking of feedback, if you'd like to contact us, you can reach us on Twitter at apairofdicelost, or send any questions into apairofdicelost@gmail.com. As always, thanks so much for staying until the end of the episode, so feel free to enjoy some good old bardic inspiration.